go beast like 23, 10 toes down, glued to the concrete. And I do me, keep to myself to find my peace. Been ballin' a little bit, woke up feeling rich. Still remember days I had to grind to get a cent. Still remember days when I spent a penny pinch. Now this bank account is lit and it's up and it's stuck just like Cardi said. Same faces around me and it's hardly friends. Saying how you do it but you hardly did. Fibbing on the ground, yeah you probably is. Ballin' like it's game time. Locked in when it's game time. Yeah I'm ballin' like it's game time. Locked in when it's game time. I put in work, couldn't wait for mine. I got 9, couldn't wait in line. Game time, game time. Locked in when it's game time. Locked in when it's game time. Pull up from the logo like it's Dame time. Same zone, so won't catch me on the same time. Time is money, so I cannot give away time. On the road still.
Enjoy yourself. You're about to get a message from yours truly. Sit back and enjoy yourself. You're about to hear a message from yours truly. Pure Bama Freeman lifestyle. Hey. You're about to go from city to city. Traveling across this land, yeah. Pure Bama Freeman lifestyle.
Tell everybody that wants to be a travel vlogger why that is the worst decision you could make to join in a YouTube niche.
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, man? It's your boy Bama right here on the highways and byways. We're here in Wisconsin, man. Shout out to you guys. Want to give you a major salute for you fellas that are coming through to support the channel, hopefully. Well, we got something to talk about today. We got to talk about this thing called YouTube. Content creating, all that stuff. Is it really worth it? Is it worth it? We're going to see about that, man. So y'all strap on your seatbelts, man. It's going to be a very important stream to give you my insights on to why I think it's not financially worth it to be a full-time YouTuber, and let alone a part-time YouTuber. So I'm going to come from a perspective of my own experience and what I've dealt with and what I've spent and all of the stuff that I put into my small little YouTube. I'm going to tell you, it's not what you think it is. It's just not that. So appreciate y'all for coming through, man. We had to redo this live stream again, man, because I noticed I wasn't saying anything. I did a whole hour, bro, and there was no sound. I went back to look at the video. It was no sound, man. So we got to redo this shit all over again, and I got to rehash my talking points. So y'all come through, man. Hit the like button if you're new, sub to the channel, and also hit the notification bell. You know what I mean? Definitely going to appreciate that. If you want to support the channel, or other platforms, let's go to the QR code at the bottom right hand corner, man. Bottom right hand corner. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok. The QR code's at the bottom right hand corner, bro. Make sure you go there and drop a follow on your boy, man. Also, man, if you want to support the channel monetarily, man, you could definitely go to those 3 institutions: Cash App, PayPal, and Chime. Cash App, PayPal, and Chime. And you could definitely go right here at the bottom of the screen. $ Pure Bama Freeman, $ Pure Bama Freeman on Cash App. On Cash App, $ Pure Bama Freeman. Pure Bama TV, Pure Bama TV on Chime and PayPal. Pure Bama TV on Chime and PayPal. That's how you could drop a donation on your boy. All right. Yeah. So we got all of those things out the way, man. Um, Again, I gotta do one more little thing. If you wanna see the travel content, some of my experiences and stuff like that, whether it's in the US, whether it's going to different countries. Go to Bama the Traveler, man. Bama the Traveler, because I am a traveler. You know what I'm saying? I am a traveler. I do it by living for a living, right? As a truck driver, I travel for a living, and I also travel for fun, leisure time, adult time, whatnot, right? And if you want to see how your boy do it, um, from a fun time standpoint, you can go to Bama the Traveler. Now, TikTok will show you some of my travel content for work. So if you want to know how your boy pushing it uh, as a truck driver, go over to TikTok. Follow me there. But the QR code is at the bottom right hand corner, bro. You know what I mean? But go and drop a sub on your boy over there at Bama the Traveler, and so we can help grow that channel. With all of that being considered and all that being said, we gotta ask the question: is it financially worth it to be a full-time YouTuber? Is being a full-time YouTuber financially worth it? And I said that it was not. And let me tell you how from my own personal experience. It has not been worth it because of the amount of money that I have invested into YouTube. At least getting some form of traction. What led me to YouTube initially was trying to get guys to be motivated from a hard fall in life, whether it's divorce, whether it's losing a job, whatever. It was an encouragement to keep your head up, essentially, and you know, staying focused and getting back to work, right? Work yourself out of the situation that you're in, okay? And then it started to sort of push into this thing called relationships because I had freshly got out of a divorce, and I wanted to share my experiences with that, and I wanted to see whether or not I was able to grab a crowd, or I wouldn't say a crowd, but grab an audience with that. Large because social media was talking heavily, like they're doing now, about relationships and the dynamics and the things that it has done to people. And so I wanted to share my experience, right? So fast forward, I tried to pick up a solution, right? And one of them was, I ended up MGTOWing a couple times and went a year or so each time abstaining from any encounters in relationships, So I went through that phase. Fast forward, I found a solution called the Passport Bros. So I started traveling. I said, well, it kind of correlates with what I do already. I'm a truck driver, and so I travel for work, and why not travel for fun? I want to see the world. I've seen the country several times, and I visited all the places. So now let me look into traveling the world. So as all of these things came about, I did content through the evolution of my journey on YouTube, right? But what came with that in between time was I actually did a class on how to become a YouTuber or a successful YouTuber. And I took that class from or the lead attorney, right? Spent about $500 to get the class to learn how to do thumbnails and how to do StreamYard and all of that. So I ended up getting a StreamYard, and he told us one of the things in the class was, if you want to get this little ugly thing right here off of your screen, you got to pay off the monthly bill. You see the little duck right there by the kick sign up there at the top right hand corner? Yes, you got to pay a monthly bill in order to get that little thing right there off, right? Having the ability to do this, right? So I got the best package in which they talked about quality. He talked about quality, right? So I wanted to be able to do this if I paid a monthly bill. Put my own shit up there, right? Whether it's that, that, right? So I got the premium package, $88 a month. Now that was about nearly 3 years ago. Okay. Out of them 3 years, I say about 90% of the time, because I went like maybe 3, 4 months without paying a bill because I got frustrated because I didn't see myself as a former businessman, uh, owning my own shop. I didn't see that the return investment was worth it. Even though through this class, I was under the impression that, yeah, you could be a successful YouTuber. Just do this, and have a very catchy thumbnail and all this shit. So go to Canva. Went to Canva, right? And so Canva have all these different features, editing, features, and they have ways to making thumbnails on all the social media platforms. That cost me about another $12 to $15 a month. So now I'm invested $100 and some a month just to be functional, to be a successful YouTuber, right? Mind you, this has been about 3 years that I've been paying these monthly bills. And I have yet to even break even just with those two things alone. I have yet to break even on YouTube. Is YouTube financially worth it? Well, I'm going to say it like this. It's only worth it for those that they allow to be successful, right? I'm not successful on YouTube. It's only two reasons why. A, I'm not a good content creator, and I'm not able to communicate my message effectively enough to gain an audience, or is only privy to a minority of people. Okay. It's either one of those. At any rate, it has yet, from even a part-time situation, it hasn't given me nowhere close to at least breaking even just from the apps. Okay. Now I'm not going to even mention me, trying to go out and buy equipment and all that other stuff, in which I probably blew a bunch of money getting the wrong shit. But that wasn't presented like that in that class, right? So what was shared in that class was, yo, you could potentially make this kind of money, you know? And it even was given access to the top YouTubers or social media or content creators, the top content creators in the country. You're able to see the kind of money these guys was bringing in. And these guys was bringing from where 20 to $100,000 a month. All right. This is supposed to be verified. This is the potential. If you want to be a successful YouTuber, you can make between 20 to 100,000 a month. This is from your lead attorneys. This is from your Fresh and Fits. This is from your Coach Greg Adams. This is from Albert and Preach. All these big folks, right? You able to make that kind of money per month. So naturally, you were like, damn, if I can at least make, in my case, 1,000 to 5,000 a month, I'll be satisfied with that because I could just add that to what I make as a trucker. Okay. Makes sense. Reasonable, right? Frame of thought. What I come to find that I wasn't coming nowhere near that. Not to mention, I probably have gained from a YouTube check, the monthly check, once I got monetized. I think I made about nearly $500 in the 2 years, 2.5 years I was monetized. $500, nearly $500. And it's not even net. I think I got like 4 YouTube checks in a span of 2.5 years. Yeah, about 4 YouTube checks in a span of 2.5 years of being monetized. And I had my thing set in the YouTube studio of a minimum of $100. So when you kind of sort of spread that out, that nearly 4 checks, one was like 105, another one like 117. I think the most I made in 1 month was like $117 in a matter of 2.5 years. When I kind of spread that out, I may have gotten a check once every 4.5 months, maybe 5. Okay. So that $88 in that 2.5 years, nearly 3, from taking that lead attorney class, I haven't even broke even just with the StreamYard and the Canva. I still got Canva. I still got StreamYard. Because if I didn't have it, I wouldn't be able to have I wouldn't even have this background right here. I got this background. I did this background from Canva. Like I said, I pay between $12 and $15. I don't even look at it. No, I don't even remember how much it is like that. But it just come out of it just automatically debited out. So I'm able to do thumbnails. I'm able to do backgrounds. I'm able to do my own personalized thing, right? Not only that, on StreamYard, I'm people that have this duck that you see right there at the top right hand corner. Those people are getting StreamYard for free. They don't pay a monthly bill. I pay $88 for the premium package to do this, to put my own or the generic duck. Okay? I can put my own, I can put as many as I want on there, right? I could do that shit. I haven't even broke even just from paying for that feature. Okay? Now, super chat, I mean, super chat, the super chats is what gained me those nearly $500 on 4 checks from YouTube in 2.5 years. But I may have gotten cash apps. I may have gained in those 2.5, 3 years from being monetized. I may have made $100. No, I take that back. I think I had some streams where I was being funny. I was like, hey, let's see if I can at least gain $500 or whatever. I may have came across $180. So in total, from cash apps to YouTube checks, no, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. They was sending me that through the super chats. So no, I barely even made. I probably barely made like 450 at best, at the super best, in 2.5 years on YouTube. From taking YouTube classes, I didn't even mention I paid 500. I did mention it. I paid 500 and some dollars to take the damn YouTube class to become a successful YouTuber, right? Then I turn around and spend money on the StreamYard package, and I also got the Canva to make the thumbnails and the music, the videos, the intro video, the outro video, even this shit right here, right? Hey, I had to do all of this shit just to try to get traction, views, add quality to my own shit. And I have yet to gain the traction. I've yet to even come anywhere close to what I was shown in that YouTube class. Okay. I was shown that you can make potentially between 20 and 100 bands or 100,000 a month. I thought that reasonably I wasn't going to see that no time soon until I sort of gain more traction and all of that. Then maybe potentially I can. So I saw those numbers as potentials. But from the start, let me see if I can make 500 a month. Maybe build it up to 1,000. Let me build it up to 3,000. Let me build it up to 5,000. Let me at least leap to 10,000. And I'll be content with 10,000 a month making. None of that shit came into manifestation, bro. As a part-time. Now, these people that the lead attorney showed me in the background, on what these YouTubers are making, these people do YouTube full-time. I think lead attorney is doing YouTube partially, part-time. I mean, he does it sometimes full-time, but then, he turned around and, do it part-time, right? Or full-time, part-time. You don't really know, but he's making damn near 30,000 a month. And then when you go to his live streams, hey, you see how he's making it. People sending 50, people sending 100, Some people sending 500. They'll drop that kind of money. I mean, look, he got 300,000 subs. Hey, he's getting it. But can I get that kind of money? Not to start. I, look at it as a gradual process, and maybe potentially I can, right? But none of that shit manifests. So looking at this video from Austin Holloman, it brought it all home. It all made sense. And that's why I did this question on, is it worth being a full-time YouTuber? Financially, is it worth it? I'm going to say it's not worth it from the masses or the majority, but maybe for the people that is in the minority group, yes, it's very beneficial. Who wouldn't take it? But it's not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? The algorithm is only going to allow only a certain amount of people to make that kind of money. Right? I want to say it's millions of content creators. It's millions. You think they're going to have millions of people making that kind of money per month? Absolutely not. I wouldn't even say they wouldn't even allow them to make $1,000 a month. You know what I'm saying? If every content creator was to make $1,000 a month, these people would be out of billions and billions of dollars, bro. Okay? So it's not worth it if you're trying to pursue it full time, because they're gonna handpick who they want. Now, I was inspired to do this particular live stream from Austin Holloman, because that's where I sort of chronologically, I think he was the first one I've seen make this video, but I think Keith in the streets with Keith came up with this video. You put into what you work for. It's entitled some shit like that. And I looked at his title and I was like, it's partly true, but it's not true. Because in my case, it's not true. Because I haven't even broke even from the amount of work I put into it. Now I look at all the videos that I've made. I look at the evolution of my channel, being able to get a little bit better quality, bring a little bit more quality, but it's not. You could put the hashtags, you could put the catch, you could do the clickbait, you could do negative content, whatever. You're not gonna gain that type of traction, bro. Okay. Some people that think that they're gonna just blow up on YouTube like that, just from a snap of a finger, it's not gonna work. Okay. So looking at Austin Holloman's video today, it made me come back to the amount of times I was really frustrated with YouTube. It reinforced some of my thoughts about even being a content creator. And so I wanted to play some of this, man. You know what I mean? I want to respond to it. Y'all going to hear it on audio, but um, I'm going to watch the video and I want to play it. I don't have my laptop out right now, so we're not going to do it from the laptop today. I want to play this and see y'all thoughts.
Tell everybody that wants to be a travel vlogger why that is the worst decision you could make to join in a YouTube niche. And I'm saying this after 3 years of doing travel vlogging, doing geopolitical videos, doing red pill videos when I first started off. I've done a few things here on YouTube. And I'm going to tell you that if you want to be a travel vlogger, you absolutely cannot depend on YouTube to get rich.
Now, what he's explaining, I could see how I have evolved from when I first started YouTube in 2022, or no, 2021, late 2020, July of 2021, doing videos. I've changed significantly. I mean, you could call it rebrand, whatever. I did whatever it took just to get any type of traction, and it hasn't worked, right? And again, I was pursuing it part-time. You know, for those that say, you know, you in order to become a successful YouTuber, you got to do it full-time. Bullshit. Because you got people that do videos once a damn 3 months, 4 months, and hell, they break the algorithm, right? They're not doing it full-time. They doing some other shit full-time. They do YouTube part-time. So kill that notion. It ain't got nothing to do with the time you put in. It's just, I think, I don't know what to think, to be honest. But let's continue.
Okay, yes, you can live off of YouTube. I've been living, my YouTube check that I get every month pays me enough to pay my bills for a place here and a place in Namibia. It affords me to have my gym membership, pay my bills back home, which is just my student loans, only $80 a month. It pays for my survival costs, and I still have some money left over to do a limited amount of things that I want to do, which is the reason why I also sell services, and my travel channel is essentially my funnel. This is the top where I get attention, and then I can funnel people down into something else for people that are intentional. And speaking of
Now, that point right there, I even struggle with that. Man, I created groups. None of that shit worked, bro. He called it funneling. I'm saying that as a customer base, networking, all that shit, that ain't finna happen, dog. You may get one or two people, and you know they got their lives. They got to do what they got to do. And I met some cool people. Okay. But they got shit to do, man. You ain't making no money doing that shit. Okay. All that Patreon shit, all that shit. You got guys stop doing Patreon. I don't even hardly hear these dudes talking about their Patreon like that. Okay. Maybe a couple content creators still popping on Patreon. But that shit ain't really popping like that for the average YouTuber. Okay. Now Austin Holloman has over 155,000 subs. It ain't working out for him like that. He may have like a couple groups on Facebook or whatever, but you got to go outside of YouTube just to have some form of network to even get ahead. So principally, I understand what he's saying, but you got to get the fucking traction first in order to even be able to funnel people like he's talking about. So either case for me personally, it hasn't worked out. You know what I mean? If anything, I spend more money fucking with YouTube than gaining money. Let's get it.
that audience, if you are looking to be a travel vlogger, you need to be ready for the most this is literally like the iShow speed audience, right? These are mainly about 90 to 95% of your audience is mainly just people that just watch you for the hell of it. And about 50% of those 95% people are trolls that will bitch and complain about everything you do.
Now, that he's also spot on this one. I mean, shout out to Austin Holloman on this video. I think, my me being, you called me a troll before or whatever. So I roast you on certain segments of your content. Uh, but I will say on this video here, it resonated because he's talking YouTube talk, and again, I've been on YouTube enough time to know how it sort of worked. Has it worked for me? No, it has not worked for me. Uh, is it worth the investment? No, not in my case. It's not worth it. Did I see the return in my investment? Absolutely not. So, with that being considered, to top with that is those people that he's talking about is only going to watch you because they're bored. They either at work, primarily at work, or before they go to bed, and they're entertaining themselves. They're not taking what you're saying literal. They either trying to find a way to troll you, or they trying to critique you, or even gaslight you to believing they really support you. You know, and so from my experience, you don't get the support that you hoping for, because you see that, me being a businessman, you know what I mean. I was in business, you know what I mean, for 9 years, you know what I mean. And only the reason why I'm not in business to this day in barbering is because of COVID. COVID fucked me up. But anyway, I know you have to do some form of investment in order to gain money. All right. Prior to even doing being a businessman in barbering and all that, I was in the streets. I know you have to go to the real man in order to make money. You know what I mean? So I understand the principle of investing in order to get a return in investment. Okay. So that's not the issue. The issue is, are you going to make that return? And if you don't make the return, then you are a colossal failure. You know what I'm saying? You are a failure. And at this point, I would say I failed in social media because I haven't seen now. They say you have to be in business between, right, 1 to 3 years or 1 to 5 years in order to see some returns. Now, I just don't see it. You know what I'm saying? Again, rehashing the point. Um, when I was monetized on my other channel, in which I scrubbed it because I thought I was shadow banned, and I think I'm still shadow banned. However, when I had them 3,700 subs on Bama the Travels channel, I ended up gaining 4 checks from YouTube. It didn't even break it. And I'm being generous. I say 450 because I have my thing set. Hey, in order to get a YouTube check, you gotta make $100 a month. The people that say that they was supporting me wasn't really supporting me. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I look at the amount of subs I had, it wasn't making the money to pay the bill for my YouTube. I'm talking about the StreamYard. I'm talking about the Canva. I'm talking about being able to make more money so that I can up the quality of the streams. All of that shit I had to invest from my own pocket. Again, as a businessman, I was always told that you take somebody else's money and invest it, right? But in this case, personally, I wasn't able to do that. So I had to come out of my personal part. Now, how long, I guess it comes to a point where how long you're going to continue to do that? Well, at the rate it's going, I don't see how it would be beneficial to me as a businessman. And YouTube is a business. It's not worth me investing my own money into a stagnant channel. It's just not worth it. So yes, I've gained a little bit of traction, but most of those people are not. They either bots or they're not real. They're not supporters like that. It's just a bunch of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Just a pastime. A lot of bored people. You know what I mean? Just like even me. I watch YouTube the pastime while I'm working, as I'm driving, listening to live streams, listening to podcasts, whatever. You know what I mean? Either to get the content, gain the ideas, whatever subjects. It's just for me to pass time, to try to build my shit. You know what I mean? But I think that YouTube is only cut out for a minority of people, select people, and if you're not successful in it, then that means that you're not a content creator. You're not good at it. Now I've been told, man, keep going, keep going, keep going, bro. Them same goddamn people that tell you to keep going be the same ones that not really support you, bro. Okay. Um, is the support they think they're giving? Not even paying my fucking camera bill. And now, mind you, now they came across you through your page, not their page. Okay, it didn't come from their page. It came from your own page, right? They came to your channel, right? So the relationship is simply from YouTube. Okay, now me personally, I want to build a brotherhood outside of YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Something that's more authentic, more genuine. You know what I mean? Because um, when you connect with people, it has to be resourceful. Every human being is a resource. Social networking, right? That's the point. You're not gonna funnel no people that ain't on what you're on. You know what I mean? It's just not gonna happen. So what he's saying is spot on. I mean, it's just a hard business, man. It's really hard.
So I'm gonna tell you guys exactly why travel vlogging is not what you think it is. Furthermore, so some people say, well, look at Drew Binsky and look at Check and Effect and look at Kurt Cass. Most of those people I just named are white, right? And guess what? Those people, first of all, like when white people go to slums and stuff like that, it gets a lot of views. Like my neighbor is a Turkish woman. When her and Bobby went to a slum, they posted the same video the same day together, and her video pops off. Bobby's doesn't. Ain't nothing special about a nigga going to the hood.
Now, um, it's the type of content, right? And again, it goes to the point. It's only for a select people. Now, his complaint is black travelers are getting suppressed in the algorithm. I heard him say it. I heard somebody else mention it, but that might be the case too. You know what I mean? Black travelers are being suppressed in the algorithm to keep them from being successful. All of that is true. You know what I mean? To an extent. So it still begs the question: is it worth you being a full-time YouTuber financially? I don't think so.
Let's just make that clear, because some people say I'm making excuses. I think that white people get shock value out of doing that kind of stuff. But furthermore about that, have you guys noticed that the biggest travel vloggers do the dumbest shit? Like they literally go to, so they do stuff that I am not willing to do. Like I'm not trying to go to Haiti and go interview gang lords and stuff like that. Or I'm not trying to go to the favela and ask them how many people did they kill this week.
And this is another true point. I'm not willing to do any of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Just to make a YouTube check. Right? And he's gonna break down what you can make off of 1 million views, and it's shocking. And so it comes to question, what are you willing to do just to get very little? And I'm saying just off of 1 million views, I think that 3 bands for 1 million views to do something as dangerous as hell, I don't think it's worth it because I know I can make 3 bands trucking. Now, yes, trucking is dangerous, but will I take my chances driving a truck or will I take my chance going into doing some daredevil type shit? I'd rather take my chances driving a truck and get that 3 bands consistently through my work ethic. My work ethic should reward the amount of money I make, right? Which is going to take it's going to take a lot of work, a lot of hours. Like you said, between 60 and 70 hours or more to make that kind of money. I'd rather do that than do some content in hopes that I will make that kind of money. But is it possible that I get 1 million views off every video? Absolutely not. So people are willing to pay, especially in the black sector of travel, right? They want to see crash outs in order to support you. People say your content is boring, or you're not attractive, or you don't have the charisma to take the character, and you're not, your channel is dull, and you don't know how to speak, or you don't know how to communicate. Your quality is this, his quality is that, bruh. None of that shit matters because it's only designed for a select amount of people. This has taken me a while to realize this, and I think he helped me on this video to realize that. Because I was wondering why I was feeling like I need to quit. Why do I feel like I need to not do this shit as far as whipping out my camera, doing content, this. Not, and knowing that I'm not gonna make any money. Now people say, no, you gotta have the right mindset, bro. I had the right mindset. But as time went on, I started to realize reality. At the pace I was going, it doesn't keep up with the model of what business is. The 1 to 3 years or the 1 to 5 year window. The pace that I'm going, it's gonna take me 10 years. Maybe to make $1,000 a month on YouTube. And I'm saying that majority of these people got to be out of the business of doing content in order for me to even make 1,000. Let's go, man.
Or I'm not trying to go to Sudan to interview a damn warlord. I'm not trying to do that. Okay, so yes, you do get views going to Nairobi, going to Thailand, showing people stuff. Yes, those things get views. Obviously, that's how my YouTube check's been able to survive. But if you really, really want to be successful as a content creator in the travel niche, you are damn near going to have to take a bullet to do that.
So again, all that shit he's saying, I went to the same, not all the places he's been, but I've been to them same places. Bro, I didn't gain no traction, bro. Even when I went to Brazil, my views, I think when I was in Sao Paulo, Brazil, I think the most people I had in a live chat was like 50 people. But then that shit just started trickling down. It went all the way down to like 25, 30, and then it kept going up, and then it went all the way down to like 5. You know what I mean? I can see the suppression through the numbers. Even right now, the numbers are suppressed while my video is being suppressed. And this is a very interesting topic. It's several YouTubers coming out making mention of this shit about the financial benefits of being on YouTube. They're now coming out saying that, hey, I got to go get a job now. You know what I mean? You got people out here now claiming that they need to goddamn, you know, leave YouTube altogether. It's just not, it ain't that. You know what I'm saying? It's just not that.
To do some of the dumbest shit that you can never do. And again, I'm saying this with my own experience to document why I say this, right? I did geopolitics for about 3 or 4 months. And in that 3 or 4 month period, those videos all combined were way more profitable, way more successful than that entire year of 2024 with vlogging. Okay, go look at my videos and tell me if I'm wrong. Okay, I could post a video about, hey, dual citizenship is dying in the United States, telling you from experience. 1 week later, the video has 150,000 views. Okay, now my most viewed video is at 958,000 views. Okay, that would have been 4 years, 3 years ago that video was posted next month in January. And I'm going to put a screenshot on the screen to show you guys what a video that almost reaches 1 million views gets for the average travel vlogger. The average travel vlogger will get around $3,720 for a video that makes 1 million views. Now,
So $3,700 for 1 million views, and it took his ass 3 years to get 1 million views on one video, and it only came up to $3,700, bro. $3,700 for 1 million views. The chances of you getting 1 million views per video is highly unlikely. You're not gonna make that kind of money, doc. It's not worth it. You could talk about the quality. You could talk about the subject, the title, the tags. You could talk about the thumbnail. You could talk about the whatever. I'm telling you from firsthand experience, doc. Ain't somebody looking on the outside looking at it. I'm telling you from inside the trenches, it ain't happening.
$3,720, great. That's over the course of 3 fucking years. So imagine, first of all, thinking that you're gonna get 1 million views per video is possible, but
And this is a guy that got 155,000 goddamn views, bro. This is the reality. This is not opinion. This is not feelings. These are facts. He's been in it just as long as I've been in it. He's on a higher scale. I'm on a lower scale. We have the same, probably exact complaints, bro. That's the reality of it.
I'm not gonna make it seem like that's just likely to do on YouTube. There's an algorithm that if it was that easy to just get 1 million views every video, everybody would be Mr. Beast and Drew Binsky, right?
Facts. Everybody would do YouTube if they was making that kind of money, bro. Again, it goes to the point that I just made. It's only for a minority of people. This is intentionally, though, because when you think about it, there's millions of content creators on YouTube. This is a fact. Millions. I don't know the exact number, but there are millions of content creators. Now, listen, you're not going to pay all those people at least $1,000 a month. They are practically damn near go broke. Okay. Monthly paying $1,000 per content creator. They'll go broke. Okay. But we know that's not the case. Some people are making, again, when I went to the class, lead attorney, he showed me on the back dashboard what these people were potentially making. And I'm talking about from the Aberrant Preachers, the Fresh and Fits, the Coach Greg Adams, even himself. These guys was making between 20 and 100,000 a month. From 20 to 100,000 a month. Like I said, well, damn, I'm not on these guys' level. I'm just now starting off. Can I make at least 500 a month? Just starting off? Can I potentially make 500 a month? The answer, even 3.5 or 2.5 years later, the answer is absolutely not. It don't really matter what you do to your channel, your ass ain't gonna even make 500. Because you ain't even made 500 collectively out of the super chats and the goddamn cash apps. You ain't even made that shit. And I'm 2.5 years removed from taking that class. Again, it goes to the point. I'm either not a content creator or this shit is made for a minority of people. And I want to say both things could be right at the same time. So all your ideas, all the people that say you should do this, that shit don't even work for them. You don't know what you're talking about. Let's go, man.
Right? So that is not always going to be the scenario. More than likely, if you have 100,000 subscribers, you're probably going to be hitting no more than 80,000 views per video. And those are like good numbers. Maybe 30, 40,000 views, right? And so if 30, 40,000 views is what you're going to get on average, you're literally talking like maybe $200 a video.
Oh, there you go. $200, $300 a video. Off how many views? Let's let him talk about it again.
Per video, and those are like good numbers. Maybe 30, 40,000 views, right? And so if 30, 40,000 views is what you're going to get on average, you're literally talking like maybe $200 a video.
$200 a video. You got to get 30 to 40,000 views just to get $200 a video. And these guys is in the elite levels, you know what I mean? Got all these subs and shit, professionals. Hey, yo, these people only making $200 and $300 a video. And I think he was saying that per 1,000 or some shit like that, it was making like between $8 or $7 to $8 per thousand views. Between $7 and $10 per 1,000 views. You know how much work it takes for you to create content, man? And you got to motherfucking entertain these you know, people are not going to be satisfied. You know what I mean? It don't really matter. Is it worth it, bro? Listen, Rello just said he made 80 bands, 80,000 that he's collected. He ain't even monetized. He collected from his check $80,000 last year, bro. And he has nothing to show for it. And he now is quitting YouTube for a few months. And he went and got him a job, bro. I mean, shout out to him for getting a job. But what I'm saying is, it's several things that contribute to that. One, he's probably tired that he's putting himself in jeopardy. Two, the motherfucker is probably tired of begging motherfuckers to get some money. Three, it's stressful on top of that. You know what I mean? Just to create content. You need to decompress from that shit. Just to entertain people. In his case, crash out. It take a lot of stress, man. It's stressful even getting on a plane and not knowing what could possibly happen, bro. I've been out of the country. This is going to be my 15th time going out of the country in these last 2 years, 3 years. 15 times I've been out the country. He been out the country, I think, 14 times from what he said. Getting on that plane that many times, bro, every single time I've gotten on that bitch nervous. I done been to Brazil 7 times. And each time I'm still nervous, just like this is my first time going. Because you don't know what the fuck you gonna get into when you go. Let alone after you get there, you got to do content. It ain't guaranteed you're gonna be successful at it. Just like this Thailand trip. I don't know. But I will say this. I am gonna use Thailand as a gauge on whether or not I should continue doing content. I'm gonna definitely use Thailand as that. And not only that, I'm gonna actually improve my content. And I'm going to see for a fact if my shit or my particular content or me as a person, whatever the fuck it is, on whether or not I have been blacklisted, shadow banned, or I'm just not a good content creator. That Thailand trip is going to tell it all, because it's going to be my best ability at this point, my best attempt to gain traction, because I put so much. Okay, for example, and I actually write my travel overseas off of my taxes. You know what I mean? Because it is a business, and I'm in the motherfucking swamp with that. Okay. I'm not even mentioning my travel to even gain traction. The amount of money I put into traveling to do travel content, I ain't made no money off that shit. Them little skinny ass little $400 I done made off the damn bruh. That ain't pushing shit. That ain't even scratching the surface. So to being a full-time YouTuber, that was the possible. That was what I was hoping to do. On top of having other passive incomes, yeah, I was hoping to. I was aspired to do these things. However, it ain't worth it. You see. And this is, listen, this is not just a matter of opinion. This is a matter of fact in my personal case of experience. A motherfucker can't tell me, well, you should consider this, you should consider that, you should do this, you should do that. Bruh, that shit ain't finna do shit. Okay? That shit is for the minority of men. Let's go.
Okay, so that means you need to hit that number every fucking time you upload a video.
What is that?
Is what you're gonna get on average views per video. And those are like good numbers. Maybe 30, 40,000 views, right? And so if 30, 40,000 views is what you're gonna get on average, you're literally talking like maybe $200 a video. Okay, it's every fucking time you upload a video.
Well, let's just take this thing down the memory lane. This man said 2 or 3. Shit, if I can get, I can barely. I don't even think I can get 100 views on goddamn YouTube. 21 views, 12 views, 87 views. Right? $17 views earlier. 15 views, 16 views. I done did. I done. Nigga, I'm not even making a penny off this shit. And y'all talking about, oh, I value your content. Nigga, please. Shit. Nigga, this shit it ain't no value in this shit. And I'm an older nigga with experience, nigga that got knowledge. It still don't equate to the traction though. You know?
Every day for it to be like, okay, I'm living really, really good off of YouTube AdSense alone. Okay, so this is why travel vloggers will ask for donations. This is why they sell other stuff on the side. Yeah, so those people in the comments that are like nagging about travel vloggers selling something, are these too salesy? You can disregard them; they're irrelevant. They don't have intent on buying anyway. They literally are just watching your videos with no intent on ever traveling where you. So you're essentially information just for the hell of it. Okay.
Damn. You know, these niggas is out here, you know, e-begging and shit like that. I see why they e-begging. Because they e-begging for the potentials of making this kind of money, man. Again, you got these big folks like him and others that's making that kind of money or whatever. They sell you this idea that you're gonna make this kind of money if you want to be in their content creating class, or they're gonna show you how to make this kind of money because they're successful. And you know, naturally you're gonna say, well, he is successful on YouTube, so let me take his class, let me join his group. They're gonna show me how the ropes go, bro. If they really showed you that shit like that for real, nigga, you be taking food off their table. Because you're gonna naturally pull from their crowd of people, you know what I mean, to build your shit. Because their crowd, here's the thing, their crowd is gotta support you, him, and all the other motherfuckers that's in the same niche that they like. They pockets gonna get thin, bro. So where you left if you're outside of that so-called group? You're gonna be in a position like me, 3 motherfuckers watching. After 4 years of being on YouTube. All right, listen, after 4 years of YouTube, you're supposed to have at least 12, I would say at least. I mean, I'm just, I'm really shooting it down, but Can you at least get 12 consistent motherfuckers in your chat? 12 to goddamn 50? At least 50 after 4 years of YouTube. I'm still doing starter numbers. Something ain't right, bruh. Maybe it's me.
In my opinion, I'm gonna go back to tell you guys what I do. Whenever I have people that will book a YouTube mentorship program with me, or they buy my digital products or my YouTube course, I will always tell them you can post travel vlogs, you can vlog as much as you want. Use that as like a getting in the game type of thing. But you also need to venture out and you need to do some news videos, or you need to do some celebrity gossip, or you need to do some informational videos or something, even if you mix the two together like you guys have seen me do. Because just doing travel, here's what happens when you just do travel vlogs, right? Unless if you post a video once every 10 days, if you arrive in a new city like Johannesburg, right? If you want to post daily, by the third day, your audience is uninterested in that city, and then the views go back down.
He would absolutely know this shit. Now again, I have jokes and I talk about his dating options, and I can assume that he's a skittle and all that shit. When it comes out of that YouTube shit, he know what he's talking about. Why wouldn't he not know what he's talking about when he got over 155,000 goddamn views? He's looking at his analytics. He's paying attention. It's his business to pay attention to his YouTube. I pay attention to my shit. The reality is, it don't matter what you do. Now, I sit back and I get, like they do this thing where they do a weekly recap on your YouTube studio. And they ask you questions, you know what I mean? What was your most viewed? How many watch hours? All that shit, just to see if you on top of your shit. You don't have a choice but to keep up with that shit, bro. And if you're trying out different things just to gain attraction and none of it works, at that point, it's either, again, it's either built for, it's made for minority of people, or you're not good at it. You're not built for it. In either case, it could be both cases. You know what I mean? Both cases could be true. So him talking about gaining a crowd or an audience that supports your channel, and then funnel them into the next thing, which I call them a customer base. You know what I mean? Um, you got to first of all get the traction in order to gain that audience. You know what I mean? That's the first step. If you can't get the fucking audience, how you gonna get them to be funneled into these other adventures you got going on, buying your merch and all this other shit? You're not gonna get them. You're not gonna get them to do any of that shit. So I understand, off of experience, that I got decisions to make, bro. And I don't want to hear nobody tell me, "Oh, yeah, I don't want to hear that shit." Because I've been in it long enough, man, and I don't see the return investment on it. Um, and it would be a fool of me to really invest into it. You know what I mean? Because I know that the business model say, hey, use other people's money to invest. Yeah, you have to put some skin in the game, but I'm not gonna continue to put motherfucking skin in the game, and I don't see any of that shit returning no time soon. You're not gonna get it done with 4 people, 3 people, 2 people, 1 person. It ain't gonna happen. Because some people ain't gonna use their hard-earned resources to support this random YouTuber. Is it possible? Maybe. But likely, nah. It ain't gonna happen. That's the business side of YouTube that people don't get. Fuck the entertainment part of it. That's an entity within itself. We talking about the business part of it. It ain't shaking the way y'all think it is, man.
have to space out. And then and that sounds good, right? But here's the thing. If you're posting videos every 10 days, that's only 3 videos a month, right? So you better damn sure hope those videos work, because if they don't, that's a third of your income gone right there. So
Mm.
what I would tell people when they put those, you need to venture out to something else. And if you aren't gonna listen to me and you're only gonna do travel vlogs, you need to have some sort of back end money. And I'm not talking about Patreon. That shit is a waste unless you're doing pornography on.
See, there you go. He just told you Patreon shit ain't hitting on shit either. Niggas want to see porn over there, bro. I gotta agree with Austin. He ain't said shit wrong on this particular video, bro. Like, he is 100% facts on this shit. I can roast him in one sense. Yeah, it's easy to roast Austin, but I gotta give him credit on this video, bro. I'm man enough to do it. Salute to you, Austin. You was right. This shit, he's right. It ain't what y'all think it is, man. It ain't that.
In this niche. So unless if you're a travel vlogger, you're showing prostitutes in your Patreon, it's not gonna work. So you need to have YouTube be your funnel, where the top of the funnel, where you grab people's attention. And then let's say 10% of those people decide that they're going to download your free Spanish guide or your free travel guide or your free something, right? And then another 10% of those 10% will actually convert into consultations that are $400 or $500 an hour, or they're going to join your group trip, something like that, or sign up for your relocation services. And I'm speaking from experience because I've done all those things plus more that I just listed.
So now there are several ways we could look at this. What y'all listening to this audio? You could take it as he's complaining and that his money's drying up. Yeah, we could do that shit for entertainment and laugh at him. Oh, he's just complaining because his money dried up and that YouTube shit, it ain't working for him. Okay, that's true. That could be true. Also, it is to show you, based off the question I just asked, is it really worth it though? You know what I'm saying? Is it really worth it? And I'm just saying, just based off of this video alone, it shows me it ain't worth it. And it ain't sustainable, because at any given time, those people can snatch all of that shit from your ass. Check. That's what it really boiled down to, right? Some people could say, oh, that's just broke man talk. He just complained because he ain't making no money. That may be all true. At the end of the day, it just shows that none of this shit is sustainable, bro. And that shit could be snatched from your ass at any given moment, dog. From personal experience, I'm thankful that I was able, even though I had it rough these last 3 days, 4 days of work, I would rather do what I'm doing as a truck driver rather than leaning on YouTube full time. Because what makes it worse in his case, he's in a whole new country, bro. And if that shit was to get snatched from him relying on 10% of his crowd to be consistent supporters, that's just not enough to sustain yourself, bro. If you don't have a platform to continue to keep making AdSense, that's going to be a huge loss to your financial gains. You see, if he lose YouTube, then them 10 to 20% of the people that really rock with him, if he just relied on them and just let's just say he continued to keep providing those same services outside of the platform of YouTube, he gonna take a significant loss, because he's making no money off of them videos no more. He ain't getting the ability to make no super chats no more. He's only gonna rely on consultations, and those people that he consult Once they get their information, they're not gonna use him no more. So that's like a one-time deal, bro. So it makes you have to lean on the platform to keep get more people to get consultations, man. Consultations is not residual income, dog. It's supplemental, right? I'm not a financial guru. I'm just using common sense. I'm saying that he has to have YouTube, like he said, as the net to catch the the attention of the people. If he lose that, it's over. Now in business, right? If you move around or you relocate too much, or even just once, so let's just say once, and I'm only using this from of the lens of being in the barber game. I moved my shop, or I had to relocate a couple times. I worked up under somebody. I took my clientele base. Again, I understand the model he's talking about. I had to get numbers when I was working up under this one guy. I had to get their numbers. I had to get the emails to keep them as my permanent clientele base. You know what I mean? And I knew some shit was gonna pop off, so I had to get these people's information who I had been cutting on a consistent month in, month out. Okay. I got the information as my clientele base. I funneled them into my own business, personal business. And then turned into me having my own shop, and I had my own personnel. That's how I worked it, right? So much so it helped me gain uh, the biggest barbershop in my small hometown. Okay. I had an 8 personnel person in my working in my establishment. 8 people, from braiders to stylists to barbers. You know what I mean? I even had a nail tech at one time come through. Okay. I understand the principle he's saying, but you gotta be able to attract though in order to gain that base. You know what I mean? To support you. Now, if I take away the building itself, a professional building of a barbershop, and I relocate that same base into my home, in which I had to do, then you're going to lose the people. Each time you move or relocate your business, or you change the framework of that business, you're going to lose a base. And sometimes you don't even recover from that shit. And that's what happened to me on top of COVID. I lost my business from divorce, and then I relocated everybody to my house because I couldn't pay for my business and my house. So I relocated all my clientele base into my house. I lost about 40% of my clientele base doing that shit because people wanted to actually go to a building versus somebody's house. Not only that, I'm limiting myself because there's no walk-ins at a house, right? So from that model, I get what he's saying, but you gotta get the traction. Now let me transition that model into YouTube, okay? Which that's what I've been wrestling with. Or even when I was a dope boy, okay? In order to get a clientele base, I had to have a good reputation. I had to have, when I say good reputation, I had to have a great product in order to keep people to come, right? I had to be consistent in order to keep that clientele base coming. Same as it is with barbering, it's the same model, same shit. YouTuber is really no different, bro. It's no different. It's just the platform is different. The product is different. The product is not dope. The product is not cutting hair. The product is doing content. I get it, right? So it goes to the point that I made earlier. Is it me as a content creator that is not valuable enough to gain that traction or have that residual income? Or is it that it's made for select people? Now I'm beginning to think it is the value of the content. Even though I'm doing the same niche as everybody else, I'm selling bunk, right? That's what it really boiled down to. Hey, I'm selling bunk. I'm not calling the people that come watch me as dope addicts. I'm not saying. I'm just using a principle. I'm not. I don't have the it factor to gain the traction, to get the residual, right? That's how it works. So he's spot on with this. We're gonna play a little bit more and we're gonna keep it going. Y'all hold tight.
Except the group trip. I haven't done that yet. But you have to have that. And this is for upcoming travel vloggers. I know so many people that watch my videos and they hear me say, oh, I've been living off of, yes, if I lost all my other income, I could still be gaining weight off of my YouTube check. I would not lose no weight. Okay. I would still be gaining muscle, meaning that I'm eating good. But don't think that that's going to happen to you entirely. You can get to where I'm at, but you have to have something on the back end. I do webinars. I'm going to be transparent with you. I make more money off of those webinars than I do on YouTube check.
Now, do I need to start charging motherfuckers to conversate with me about motherfucking travel? Probably. I got the experience, right? I mean, because I now thinking about it since he mentioned that, I'm a solo traveler. I don't need a group. I don't need to be with a couple of guys. I don't have to really do that. I only suggest that because of the intentions for why I created the YouTube, and that was to build a brotherhood. Okay, but realistically, when I started traveling, I didn't travel with nobody, and it's largely because I don't have a following. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't have a choice but to get out and travel on my own. You know what I mean? So from a business model, it don't make sense for me to talk to anyone outside of myself about traveling. What to expect, giving out information. I shouldn't do it because I'm the one spending the money to travel. You know what I mean? So now looking back at it, some of the people that say shit like we need to keep these things under wraps, you know what I mean? Keep it private and shit like that. I get it now. You know what I mean? Because you give out information like that, you giving out free information. And Austin just mentioned that. You know what I mean? Uh you're not making no money off that shit. And again, I got plenty of experience. For example, Brazil. I'm not going to give out no free consultations for that shit. I'm gonna go to Thailand for 3 months. Most people can't go to Thailand for that long. Guess what? I'm gonna be gaining knowledge in that 3 months. I'm not gonna give out no information. You know what I'm saying? I mean, um, I don't know, bro. Maybe it's give a sneak peek or some shit like that. I'm just looking at the framework that I need to do, but nah, man, I'm not giving out no free info, bro. I'm not gonna do it.
Okay. I mean, that's why I keep doing them. And people want to know as well. People want to know the information. So I'm funneling that portion of my audience that's not there just to to troll or watch me and see, okay, who's watching me? Who was Austin Holland? Who is watching me that had the same mentality Austin Holloman had in 2022 when I was watching Dennis John Pierre and Zoda Barber? And I was like, damn, I want to go to Brazil and like not have to come back to the States. If I would have came across one of my webinars, I would have booked it to figure out how could I do that.
Now, regardless of what I've said about this man, you know, this young man in previous videos, uh, it, it's obvious he's successful because he's still overseas. Whereas I have to come back to this month. I mean, you know, there's nothing wrong with it. I don't think you're a failure by having to come back and work and stuff like that. I'm saying it from the standpoint that the kind of money, whatever it is he's making, who knows? Nobody knows but him. I would like to make at least some of that, not from him or take food off his table, but I would at least try to make those type of dividends as a supplement in my case. You know what I mean? Um, it's unfortunate that I'm not able to make that. You know what I mean? Or like I said when I first started, if listen, if I was able to make $5,000-6,000 a month on YouTube, me personally as a businessman, I would just take that money and just add value to my channel. I wouldn't even use my trucking money to do that. My trucking money, if I stayed on that, would be for me to travel, to gain attraction. But it's just to me, man, some people, man, they sell these ideas that you're gonna just gain attraction like that. Hey man, this is a really, really hard business to crack. And if the people don't see value in your content, then their contributions and their donations to that content is going to be reflective of that, of what they view your content. And what I see and what I've gained so far on my content, I don't see much value in it. You know what I mean? So, you know, I'm conflicted in so many ways, and I may sound like I'm all over the place about it, but um, it definitely ties your brain into a knot. You know what I mean? And you would definitely have to take a break from it. So, you know, when I go to Thailand, and you know, I'm going for several reasons or whatever, but I will say it would. One of the reasons would be for me to reflect on, um, and I would say my last attempt to try to be successful on YouTube. That's what I would be doing. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna give it my the best that I, as far as my ability, because again, I've had to lean on my own and learn on my own as time went on to add value or enhance my channel to get traction. But yeah, I'm gonna take that time to do that. And if it doesn't, then I'm gonna leave this shit alone. You know what I mean? I'm gonna continue to keep traveling. And as far as these live streams and shit like that, that's gonna be kind of hard to do because again, you know, so many years, you know, when I was a barber, I used to have a platform to debate, to talk about sensitive subjects, to have dialogues, discussions, and talk about topics and stuff like that. And again, that's my initial reasons for creating a YouTube to sort of relive that, because I had a lot of fun doing that when I had my shop. You know what I mean? And so now that it's become digital versus being in an actual physical place, uh, I wanted to redo that. And so to make money doing that, it's not been it hasn't been easy. You know what I mean? It just hasn't. So, but yeah, man, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about. Is that, you know, from my personal experience, I was able to relate to this video that Austin did. Shout out to him and his content on that particular subject. But it's true, man. It's not what y'all think it is. And for you to make only $3,700 or $3,000 or whatever for just 1,000,000 views, I ain't know. I don't even think I'm gonna make 3,000. You know, 3,000 is not a, it's some money. You know, it's not a lot of money. Okay, uh, I don't see that happening. You know what I mean? Not with a few people. You know what I mean, that say they support you. It ain't gonna happen. You know what I mean? I don't expect it to happen with those people. You know what I mean? Because they got a life to live. You know, they got their own lives. You know what I mean? And so, um, and this is no mean to complain or anything about those guys. It's just that uh, it's just not growing my channel with just a few people. You know what I'm saying? That I know that's not gonna work. Okay, YouTube is not pushing whatever I'm putting out into the space. It's not pushing it for me to gain the traction, so I can get more supporters like the people that I've already met or linked up with and shit like that. It's just not doing it. And even those people, they're not YouTubers. So I found out that they're not in the uh, business of growing a YouTube channel. You know what I mean? So that's part of being a content creator, finding out your community per se, trying to figure out who is what and who does what, and um, yeah, I'm not attracting people to help build a YouTube channel. Now I have one person that has given me some examples and stuff like that, but it's just not gonna work, dog. You know what I'm saying? I've been on YouTube a little too long. You can talk about consistency, have a schedule and shit like that. Yeah. But it's not gonna work in my case because I'm not going to neglect my trucking for YouTube. You know what I'm saying? YouTube didn't sign me to a deal. You know what I mean? They didn't drop no deal on the line. Say, hey, we're gonna front you 50,000, and and you just go with us full time, and you drive trucks part time. It didn't work that way. So from a business aspect, I'm not gonna be consistent for YouTube when I have a consistent job. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm not that stupid, and I'm not gonna rely on a hope and a wish and a prayer and a whim uh, that I get a shit a $8,000 to $9,000 check a month. You know what I'm saying? YouTube ain't even to pay me that. Now potentially maybe, but it ain't gonna happen like I am in trucking. It's not gonna make that kind of money for me. So, I'm gonna choose trucking all day on that. And and so again, when I make this trip, man, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to assess it, you know what I mean, and see whether or not I should continue making content. And I've contemplated several times, giving up content creating and stuff like that. And I've sort of mentioned through even some of my live streams as it pertains to dating and how we should wave the white flag and all of that on that shit. It's a wrap. Um, at the same token, I got to also acknowledge that if YouTube is not working, just like how the dating market is not working, I also have to acknowledge that, yo, the content ain't working, just like that dating market shit ain't working. You feel what I'm saying? So what do you do from there? Well, you may need to adjust and accept the fact that you've taken a loss from YouTube. And there's nothing wrong with investing and taking losses. We've all taken losses. I've taken losses prior to YouTube. So I don't want to acknowledge it from that standpoint of, YouTube has made me lose, money, and I ain't never lost money. No, no, no. I've lost a bunch in my life. I have to accept the fact that I have lost and I don't see any returns in that to even break even. So I'm gonna think about it more as I be on my flight and as I go to Thailand and attempt to try to make better content as my last ditch effort to that. But it's been a long time coming on that shit, man. And so I'm gonna go either direction. You know what I mean? I want to be happy on either direction I take. And so yeah, I have to make them adjustments, man. If I think about just doing uh, no content at all and just become a uh, a consumer of YouTube and social media and not be on social media platforms. You know what I mean? Uh, I have to make those adjustments from being a content creator, which is going to be difficult because it's going to be something I'm going to watch. It's going to make me want to speak on it. And I got to then turn to think about, I'm not going to make anything off of my opinion. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much where I'm at with that shit, man. This video is not a complaint. It's not a e-begging video. It's not uh, this is not me being a bitch ass nigga or no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just me facing a reality. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna be Delulu for a little while. Maybe 3 weeks, maybe a month in my travels to Thailand, where I come up with that decision. You know what I'm saying? So uh, yeah, we'll see how that goes. But nevertheless, man, we're gonna get out of here, man. Ain't no need to prolong it. The point. I think y'all got it from my personal, as well as listening to Austin. And I'm sure you're gonna see other content creators talk about the algorithm and how their videos are being suppressed and all of that. And when you really look at it, as I close this out, as you look at it, it's not gonna bring you what you invested into it. You know what I mean? It's not the return investment is not worth the investment. You know what I'm saying? And so that's going to be the majority of the people. Um, and some people are going to be able to make that breakthrough. I just don't have the personal time to continue um, into the Delulu thinking that I'm going to be some viral guy. It ain't going to happen. Especially me taking the angles of being negative. You know, they say, oh, the negative should have make you viral. No, it don't. You know what I'm saying? It just don't work that way. But and I'm not sure how it works, but I don't want to continue to keep thinking about how it works. I need to get back into being a civilian and just travel like I've been doing and not worry about it, and take the advice of what some people have said is, not actually showing the content, what I mean, or where you're going, If anything, I just do like regular people, just take the pictures, videos for my personal use to be able to reflect back on it and use that as an inspiration to go back to that place, whatnot. But yeah, that's how it's gonna have to be, man. But anyway, we're gonna get out of here, man. We've been on for an hour and 32. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Whoever do come through, whatever. It's your boy Bama, right here at Free Man Travel. Definitely a free man. Definitely need to free myself up from content creating. It looks like. But however, man, we're gonna be free regardless. But anyway, we're gonna get out of here, man. I'm gonna holler at y'all. Peace.